As famed dungeon masters the Crystals once said, when looking for a D&D setting with skyships, trains, and steampunk, I met him on a Monday and my heart stood still. Ebba run, 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 Ebba run, run, run. We got elves and machines and guns that kill. Everybody, every year, run, 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 Ebba run, run, run. Hello, hey, hey. Welcome to Homebrew Crew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favorite forms of escapism: alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. It's probably not your first time watching, so let's not waste any time. I'd say episode 54 is not where you picked us up, but you'll pick it up even if this is your first time watching. There's nothing to catch up on. If you were drinking in the chat over in the sidebar here, let us know what you're having. If you're watching this on the VOD and you're having a drink, even if it's like tea, I'm into teas. Come across a nice tea, let me know. Let us know down here. Or like favorite moments. You could use the comments for what comments are used for, but not just drinks recommendations. But let's get introduced to our beers. I can kick us off. Don't have a lot of a selection. I'm just drinking a lot of Revolvers by Larkins. They're nice. They're just session IPAs. You can pick them up in like 6 packs. It's becoming my go-to fridge filler. So highly recommend. I've already started mine, hence the sweet energy I've come in on. So enjoy that for the next 2.5 hours. Paul, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking. I haven't been able to drink in a while, so now I'm back to the Rum Billion, which gives Navy strength. Because there's, which I've actually ordered a second bottle and the third bottle of the.
That the U.S. Army one. So obviously you've got the Navy strength, which are the better strength, and then just the regular Army is the normal one.
Yeah, the kind of one. You know. So
nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then of course my potion.
I need to get a bottle of that. It just every time you show me the bottle, I don't care what it tastes like. The bottle alone sells me.
Well, I know a time that I could possibly bring it down and we could.
Hey.
After that event.
Yes, yeah. To fill the audience in, this is not anything secretive. Paul's helping me build a PC because the last time I did that, I broke the motherboard immediately. So I don't know if this is such a hark back cut. I don't know if anyone remembers Mega Tokyo, the webcomic, but there was a character in it called Largo, I think, and he got naked every time he built a PC. So in my early 20s, I was like, well, that's obviously what you have to do, because it's the only instructions I'd ever seen, because it's static. So I'm in my tiny apartment or tiny room in Toronto building a PC naked, and lo and behold, when you press that sweet button to turn it on, it did not turn on. So Paul's come down to help me turn. No, the naked thing was nothing to do with it, but I just didn't have those static gloves.
He hadn't shaved enough.
The RAM goes here. Oh no, my butt only holds 16 gigs, but I have 32. Before I get into my body as a computer, Wes, firstly, welcome back, and secondly, what are you drinking?
Oh, hang on, it turns out that for some stranger, Wes is.
Oh, we're gonna have to. We can hear you on the call, but not on the show.
Oh no. Let's have Keelan talk about his booze while we're waiting.
Fruited sour. Actually, it's delicious. I have a couple of cans of these that I didn't get through because it's clearly like a Halloween thing that I didn't get through over Halloween. It is a lime juice, raspberry, cherry, and blackcurrant beer, and it's quite nice. So,
Lime juice, cherry, and black. Yeah.
Lime juice, raspberry, cherry, and blackcurrant. The cherry and blackcurrant, because they used an ampersand, it feels like cherry and blackcurrant are one thing. Like they had a cherry and blackcurrant juice, and a lime juice, and a raspberry. It's hard to know. They definitely didn't use the Oxford comma, so it's very difficult to say. Can you Oxford comma and ampersand? That would be a whole new thing that people will get angry about. And I don't know how much you guys care about the Oxford comma either. So
Very much. I know they can't hear me, but very much.
Yeah. Wes is furiously muted talking about his love of the Oxford comma.
The Vampire Weekend song, yeah?
So it turns out that OBS has finally fixed the NDI audio feed thing. Which means that all of your audio feeds are now separated, which previously they were all condensed into one channel. So now everybody should be able to hear us.
Can you hear me?
Quick sound check. Paul, sound. Wes, jury's out. Keelan, sound.
Hi-oh.
Unsound. You can't mute me. Can you hear me though?
Yeah, let us know in the old sidebar. UBR.
Yeah, that's a good way to find out.
I can see the audio feeds coming in. So they all come in.
No, Paul, we will wait the 30 to 40 seconds it takes for people to feedback and tell us.
Yeah.
If my audio clean.
So,
Is this not how you did it in your theater tech days? You wait a good 30 seconds.
Wait for the audience to clap before you take your bow. It's really embarrassing.
They're not booing yet. It might be working.
There was actually like Hear Us Out last week did a quiz show, and we were just like, oh, we'll do one with the audience, completely forgetting that there was a 30-second delay. So
nice.
we were like 30. We were like, what about this one? Oh wait, the 30-second delay. It was so bad. But yeah, everybody should be audio friendly now.
Nice.
And quick version of what I said: I'm drinking water and I'm drinking Lemsip. But trust me, I made hilarious jokes about them. It was very good. It involved chemistry.
You missed nothing. Dangerous. I actually thought Paul probably just muted Wes due to the quality of the joke.
It's like this.
He just get kicked from the call.
Make an executive call on this one.
He'd be right to do it.
Other cans I have are Radler and a hops on acid.
Hops on
That's
acid.
good font. That's a lovely
Hops on
font.
acid, which is a classic. It's a grapefruit. I tell you more about it, but the rest of the can is in Cyrillic, so it's very difficult to say anything else about it. There's the word cocktab.
Yeah.
And it's 17 Plato, which is my favorite favorite can thing.
Yeah, 17 Plato.
I'm getting more confused by it the more you read. I hope it tastes good though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've had one. It's nice. It's a sour grapefruit hoppy thing.
Lovely.
It's good. It's also 6.5%, so I'm guessing that's the on acid part.
Yeah, it would only be 6.2% if it wasn't. That's the...
Yeah, if it was just a normal beer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucy is going to join us. She is pulling what I like to call a Campaign 1 Sam Regal, and she's stuck in LA traffic. So she will be here. Yeah. We know other streams, especially the most famous ones.
I don't get it, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. So there you go.
Yeah, you can either resonate with me or Keelan. That's the yeah. We got something for everyone here.
Team Keelan.
Sam Regal's like the Lucy of another stream that I've heard of. It's doing okay. It's doing fine. They compare it to Disney, whatever.
Yeah, in their world, quite low. So what are we judging them on? That's about it. Obviously, we've all our usual announcements. You've probably heard them by now. I'll do them at the break or at the end. Why wait any longer before we can dive in and play some Dungeons and Dragons? Is everyone ready? It's been a while since we've played straight up 5e.
I think I haven't actually played. I feel like it's been 2 months. I actually haven't played. The wrestling one was the last game I played, session I played. So I think it's been like over 2 months since I played D&D.
Don't worry, the rules haven't changed.
I'm going to change them anyway. I'm going to make some adjustmants.
Good thing.
I'm going to workshop it.
It's all wrestling now. We got rid of it.
Keelan, it's always been wrestling for me. I play a barbarian.
That's true. Why
do you think I never solve puzzles? I was actually sorry, way into it. I was watching the first. I only got the first half of the last session. I was watching. Ben was giving me shit for the stuff I don't do with my magic items, and I was like, whatever, I don't do this. He said something about dropping a pin, and I was like, wait, what? And I had to like open up Discord and look up my thing. I was like, shit, I actually have a magical ability I've not done once this entire campaign. So I'm really good at this game, is my point.
DMs out there, just give your players stuff. If they're like my players, they'll forget they have it. So you might spend ages crafting puzzles that there's particular items can solve. They'll find another way.
If it's down to them to write into their sheet what they have, guaranteed they won't have it anymore. You can give them what you want. You could be like, you have the world-winning, world-ending sword.
About that. I have so I do a little new block every session so that I don't have to go back through my notes too much. And at the top of every one, it's throw the axe to see what happens. That's my main focus. That's my drive as a character every session.
Throw that axe. Throw that axe. So let's get into some axe throwing as we play some Dungeons and Dragons. So without further ado, grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. Welcome back to the realm of Hibernia. And a quick tipple of a recap, because I was reminded Lucy won't be here until after the break when I was like, Lucy, can you do the recap? And she was like, no. And I was like, bit harsh, but okay. And I forgot to ask anyone else. So I wrote this moments before the show. After inheriting some items from a couple of stiffs down in a ruin, the party reached the peak of the Widow's Ravine in search of a stone column, which the legends may have diminished a little over time as the party discovered coming face to face with a stone giant. Unable to help until she found beauty again, the party set about seeing if perhaps beauty is in the eye of a beholder, and this decision brought about the swift interference of the Morrigan, who warned the party that to reach the beholder, deep down in Magmel, first they would have to die. We should just do that every time. That's really that's concise and good. Quick content warning, trigger warning for this episode and probably the next couple, because we are dealing with Iggy's backstory and her town, which is essentially the fear and depression and everything deterioratingly mental health rolled into one. There might be some bereavement, family bereavement, there could be suicidal ideation, there could be deteriorating mental health. We will deal with these topics as carefully as we can while drinking. So viewers and listeners, be warned. Hugspunks. The giant has laid back down and transformed back into sort of the side of a mountain. The Morrigan is nowhere to be seen. A cool wind picks up around you. You know it's cool because all the leaves are wearing sunglasses. The cold nips and bites into you, and without warning, the heavens open. You can see dark clouds in the distance, but it's the sheer force of the wind up on Widow's Ravine is causing it to rain sideways in your direction. And the chill is turning these raindrops to hailstones. You all know it is still some time before you meet Iggy's father tonight, in the craggy hills outside of her town. Because of the Moor demon, there'll be no sleeping in the town itself. There'll be no shelter except what you make of it out in the open air. Don't get me wrong, setting up camp is no problem. It's a little tricky given the weather, but is there anything you guys would like to do in the few hours you have before meeting Bacchus O'Fla? You know, Iggy's a little bit, she's nervous about meeting her dad and she's receded into herself a little bit. You can tell she's kind of running over conversations in her head, what she might say, hopefully not triggering the Moor demon and causing the death of other people in her town. So she is, for both real world, plot, and otherwise purposes, closed off to you.
So are we, just to be clear, traveling through blinding rain for the next foreseeable future, but we're not resting or stopping at any point in time?
You can do that. If you want to rest and stop, you absolutely can. There are places like sort of large stones protruding from the ground, of which you can sort of what you call that tent, where you just sort of hang a cloak against a stone and make a little
cutting it.
Bivouac?
Bivouac.
Bivouac. You could do that kind of stuff easy enough. The reason it's raining and the reason it's suddenly hilly is I listened back to the meeting with Bacchus. It was very much slashing rain and very much a hilly and not the flat, clear day I described last episode. But weather in Hibernia can turn on a dime. That's kind of the landscape, it seems. So.
Yeah, it was incredibly flat right until now, and then it's actually when you really look at it, you realize it's actually so hilly that it looks flat. It's an optical illusion, but actually it's massive amounts of hills. That tracks.
It's like when you're on the surface of something, it seems flat, but when you pull back out of it, it's actually this is quite hilly. Or the other way around, like the moon looks smooth, but actually get real close and it's actually quite hilly. Whichever one the physics makes sense with.
So we're like an ant on a Mobius strip.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that helped, but it was fun to say.
And it will be the episode title. It will make no sense.
An ant on a Mobius strip. All right, cool. Well, does anyone want to have a bivouac over there and see if we can ride out this weather? That's me trying to be yelly and quiet at the same time. Trying to RP yelling through the wind, yet at the same time not yelling so much that other people in the other rooms can hear me.
Is there like so the rocks seem to be the only shelter nearby that we can see in this heavy rain, or does it look like there's anything further in the distance we could like power through to?
If you headed towards the general meeting site, which Iggy has pointed out, and Arlington, you can see because it is. Within...
it's not affecting my vision. The rain is.
No, you saw it just before it started raining. Your memory is helping you know where it is.
Right. Yeah.
There is a sort of craggy hawthorn tree looking thing, one of those real gnarly, could only grow on the side of the most harshest weather, where Iggy as a child would like to come and draw, daydream, and basically not feel like an outsider in her town, because no one else was around. So you could make it for that, and that would take you a couple of hours, ish. But then you'll be in the meeting place and you'll just be waiting for Bacchus to arrive. So that's like not a bad idea.
And it doesn't look like there's much shelter. I'm picturing like a tree without many leaves in it, so I presume there's not much shelter in it, or is it sheltered from the rain?
No, not much shelter at all. It's a little bit like the flats and the crags and the hills of the Burren. You know, that kind of style?
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. I was going to say it's kind of like the flats in Dublin. I was like, not sure I follow this one now, but I see where you're going for something.
Yeah. The kind of craggy wasteland of the Burren, County Clare.
Okay. I mean, yeah. May as well just pull in, right?
That's a no for bivouacking then, is it?
That's Randy's probably just gonna be just like, yeah, alright, let's just get this sorted, and just starts like putting I guess coats together and stuff. He's not asking questions, he's just like taking coats off people and tying them together just to make a big enough bivouac for like the three of us.
Oh, all right, I suppose we could take shelter for a little bit. We've got time to kill, it seems. I'm gonna start pulling. I'm gonna help Randir by like pulling several hides out of my bag and just helping him tie it together. And there's like an alarming amount of hides, and some of them you're not entirely sure what it used to be.
Can I clarify for my notes? Do you keep them in your hiding spot?
No, I keep them in a funnier thing that I can't think of. Damn it! Yes, hiding spot.
Perfect. It just helps me.
Although now,
fuller picture of the
we're
character.
probably going to do some bird watching, so we're technically in a hide, I suppose, if that works. Is that what they're called? The things where they do nature programs in? Oh, I'm frozen. Oh, cool.
No, you're not frozen.
That's great.
No, we were just ignoring you.
Yeah.
Not frozen for me.
Now he's frozen, though. But no, it got better. It got better. Well, this is fun. I think they are called hides, to answer your question.
Yeah, I think so.
Hidey holes, I think, is the technical term.
Yeah. Or a lean-to. We could find a lean-to. There's all sorts of words. I'm thinking, technically, my name. I could be helpful because of the whole being a Fianna thing, but I could also not be helpful because of the whole being a Puka and a Fae. and the inherent being a character. Is there any way in which wasting a level 5 spell to animate the objects such that they're just being our bivouac for us is a good or a bad idea? I was trying to think if we could if I can animate the cloaks to always face the rain.
That'd be a good idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I keep doing this, and then we end up in a fight, and it's like, sorry, I used all my 5th level spells trying to make jackets.
Trying to do a Doctor Strange on this.
Yeah. But that's an option. Should we be very bad at doing a lean-to? That's where I'm at. Ooh, incredibly dangerous. The blight spell sucks all the moisture out of a place and does loads of damage. So I could blight. We could build a lean-to. I'll blight the inside of it, completely wasting that, but it'll get rid of all the moisture. And then I gotta hope that blight's not like a long-standing poison. No, it's just like it's just necrotic, damage.
Yeah, I'd be wary.
I can't tell you, these aren't the highest stakes of the episode, so use your spells as you wish. But
I mean, it'd be fun to remove all the moisture and have a really dry. But we'll do that when we get to the other end.
sure, yeah, you bivouac your cloaks together. You make a fairly achievable shelter. At least you're no longer being pelted by hailstones and rain. Can someone, Keelan, you have to decide whether you want to help or hinder. Thus is the duality of a puka. But I think because Randir was sort of leading the charge, Randir, can you give me a survival check? This, honestly, this is just to know how, for our own mental picture,
14.
What we're dealing with. 14. Yeah, it's pretty good.
You got lucky because I helped. I rolled to see if I'd help or not.
Yeah. Just as Huck is about to untie something, you see him untie it, but then retie it with a better knot.
Yeah.
I'm helping. Yeah, it's a pretty good shelter. There's nothing, you're dry-ish, you're fine. There's that nice, I don't know if anyone else enjoys this, but the sound of hail against a surface of which isn't your own skin is very pleasant.
Yeah.
That's, you're getting that nice ambience, kind of white noise. If you wanted to study, perfect. You could study in this. If there was a wizard in the mixed, I'd be giving them double time and writing down spells.
Nice.
I'm gonna start playing some lo-fi on my pipes, my pan pipes.
Yeah, you see Arlington every once in a while grab a coffee, sip, put the coffee back, blink.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, I actively blink every so often.
Keggy kind of does a little circle every so often.
Well, Keggy would be outside filling itself.
Nice.
Fresh water.
Yeah, and no fresher than hail. Anything, like, you got time? Is there things, I feel like there's things that you wanted to do, but I was just like steamrolling the plot so fast that I never gave you like campfire downtime. This is your once in a campaign campfire downtime.
Okay, well, Huck would normally be bothering this is prime playing games opportunity. But he hasn't had a chance to mess around with those magical rag cloak that he got. And given that he saw everyone dying, and that since that happened, we've had an alternate reality in which everyone died that he doesn't know about, and and what was the other thing that's relevant? The fact that we all might have to die in the future, in the very near future. He's thinking maybe you should have another look to see if there's like underworldy. Just he's curious. He's putting on the weird magical cloak again, trying to get a sense for it.
That cloak.
Yeah. What magical cloak do you think? I do own like 3.
I was thinking of Ragsmataz, and I was like, I thought Randir has Ragsmatags, but yes, that cloak. Let me look it up.
I don't think we ever gave it a special name, but it allows me to see possible futures. I think was the.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't give it a name purposely for plot.
Okay.
So let me just load it up. I'm on a different document today.
Yeah.
But
why you worry about that? Other people can be doing whatever they else need to do as well. But
keep track. No, you don't keep track of it. I'm going to keep track of it.
Okay.
You can cast without any material or other costly components the spell divination.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
These are the tattered rags of divination.
Ooh.
Do you want me to open up what that spell is?
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to say I can look it up, but yeah, if you have it.
I
So
have to step away for 30 seconds while this is resolved.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Nothing's wrong.
Good,
I just
'cause-
don't want to be around while we're talking shop, you know?
yeah. Wes is deathly scared of divination.
Yeah.
he doesn't want to know any possible future ever.
Him, like, you know.
So
What it is.
it's a 4th level spell. The damage and effect is foreknowledge, and it is instantaneous. Your magic and an offering put you in contact with a god or a god servant. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The GM offers a truthful reply. The reply might be a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen. The spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of additional spells or the loss or gain of a companion. If you cast the spell 2 or more times before finishing your next long rest, there's a cumulatively 25% chance for each casting after the first that you get a random reading. GM makes this roll in secret. Usually, you would have to have some incense, a sacrificial offering appropriate to your religion, together worth at least 25 gold, which the spell consumes. You do not need that.
Great. It's also because I'm not sure I have a god, so that's interesting. that helps.
Yeah. There is a god in the pantheon who would be closest aligned to your way of life, but they don't care for your existence and you don't care for them, and that's the best way for it, really.
Yeah, I was trying to think, do Fae or even Pukas have gods?
It's the only one in our Hibernian pantheon that isn't from Irish mythology. This one's from, as far as I can tell, and I could be wrong, and this could be a Don't Be That Gygax award for people, because I really want to know. The goddess Avandra is part of your pantheon, and she is the god of chaos and luck.
Okay, Evandra. Great. All right. Well, I thought I was going to have some magical future. I'm going to have a think. I'm going to quietly think about what question I ask.
Thank you, because I now need to quietly think of a cryptic rhyme, an omen, or a short phrase. Which...
yeah. Which you'll try to apply to every question I ask.
yeah. I think I'll do it in the form of a limerick, because that seems fun. There once was a puka called Huck who needed to know, and then I'll go from like, I'll try to do it that way.
I'm glad. I can't wait to see what you ran with Huck, in limerick style.
I mean, fuck, twice more.
Yeah, you stepped right into it.
With the world's fate, he tried to fuck. He asked a question of which there's no estion. Huck, fuckity, fuck.
Right.
Hey, how cryptic and omeny. I'll do better. This is this dry run. This is thankfully this isn't live on the internet for people to see. A lack of preparation.
All right. Well, that's what Huck's going to be thinking about in this opportunity then, and I'll chime in again.
While you're thinking of it, and look, this gives the game away. Let me know if you ever tried to take this cloak off.
Okay. Cool. I put it on once. So I had put it on, and this is what it does. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Because I wasn't sure if I was just going to be. In my head, I was sitting and looking at it. So great. I have it on. I'll let you know if I bother to take it off. At the moment, I'm just trying to suss out what it does.
Yes. Yeah. And they're called the tattered rags of divination. Randy or Arlington. Randy, you look over in the campfire and you see Arlington has managed to make himself what seems like a wild boar stew. It looks really tasty, but he's only made himself enough for him on the stream and is making the rest of us really hungry. It looks incredibly delicious as you look across the campfire. It is like... looks like it's just sizzling with delicious spices and otherwise. What are you eating? It looks amazing.
It's Cantonese duck.
Oh, that looks so good.
It's class. Yeah, if there are duck in the area, I'd say Arlington went out and got some. He's like, I haven't had duck in so long. It's like chicken, but delicious.
Is there anything you would like to do, Randy?
Not really. I think Randy would be trying to still get to know a little bit more of Punks guys. Because like he hasn't everything's been like accelerating in the sense of a couple of months ago he was like making beer, and now he is suddenly in the middle of an world-ending event, and also on top of that, he also slightly consciously remembers a world in which everybody died. Which probably not doing him any.
Yeah.
And also remembering his time as the what was the Under King.
Oh yeah.
Or the
I
Low
forgot he
King.
became I forgot he became the Low King of Hibernia in that other reality. Yeah. That lingers on the edge of your brain, and it makes it hard to sort of focus at the gravity of the situation at hand. Randir, how, like, exactly that. Let's investigate that a little bit. You were making beer 3 months ago. Is that 2 months ago? Is that fair?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like.
And you learned the world is going to end in, give or take, a month to a fortnight to a week to wherever you are on that scale. It's rare that a bartender and brewer gets to be in the group. How, on a scale of like 1 to 10, like how at peace are you with that?
Yes, he's probably just more focused. Like, yeah, he's probably just more focused on the task at hand. Like trying to he's probably taking it one step at a time, and the kind of like hasn't had as much time to kind of process all of it that's going on. But looking around, although it doesn't seem like it, like to the outside observer, possibly, he does believe that the best thing for Hibernia are the people around him. Like, as in, for the short period of time that he's been with them, they seem to be, although misfortunate and mismanaging, the saving of the end of the world, he does believe that these are the people that, if push comes to shove, that they're the ones. So I think he's at peace with the whole thing, but also taking it day by day, and also focusing on like reading the invention book that Goat gave him, some of the small beers that he's been able to kind of like brew and stuff like that. So that kind of level of stuff that he's been kind of, these are the little campfire moments are like the moments in which he kind of takes a breath and focuses on the small thing that keeps him sane.
Lovely. It is quite a solemn, and like Hibernia by its very nature is quite isolationist. You know, all these little pockets of towns and cities that don't seem to interact, and it's tough because in this moment in time, Iggy's rescinded into herself. Huck is sort of put on this tattered rag and seems to be muttering or murmuring or thinking to himself. Randall, you're taking a moment, and Arlington, as are you. Randall, do you want an invention?
Yeah, I'll go for it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I did. Did I do this one? I hope I did. Hold on, maybe it's under Randir Goldrum. I came up with far more inventions, and I can't remember where I put them. Probably in my items folder. Did we ever come across the Shamrock?
Oh no.
All right.
Sounds wrestling based.
Yeah, it does actually. Hold on. I've got to. We'll come back to the Shamrock. You'll get two because it's taking me longer to load these things.
I just really enjoyed the tone of, would you like an invention? Like,
Yeah.
you've been a very good little artificer. Would you like an invention?
Give him the shampoo.
Yeah. Here's some shampoo for your sham friends, and some real poo for your real friends.
It's like a real poo.
So, you see two inventions in this book. You see the Mask of Charades. The Mask of Charades allows the wearer to send a telepathic message of 25 words or less, provided the target has a line of sight, through a series of raised eyebrows. Eyebrows must be raised per word sent. The target can respond in a simple yes or no by winking or raising one eyebrow accordingly.
That's so good.
That is the Mask of Charades. The Shamrock is a. Let me find it again. Sorry, I moved away from it in my notes, and because I don't have my usual, I use OneNote most of the time. It's a slower. It's all based on the internet. It's a dark grey cloak woven from coarse wool, and it shimmers with a certain magical quality. In mountainous or rocky terrain, it becomes extremely difficult to distinguish the cloak against the stone landscape. Wearer gains advantage on all stealth checks when hiding amongst the rocks.
Is that an invention that you came up?
No, I think J.R.R. Tolkien came up with that one, but I've given it a cooler name.
I was going to ask, was it essentially the cloak when Sam?
Yeah, it is undoubtedly a cooler name. I will hear no argument against the Shamrock is a much better name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Feel free to tinker away on one or both of those, and we can come back to you in due course. They'll both take about a day or two, give or take. You have the material components. You're an artificer. You have everything you need. Of course, if you ever want to invent something yourself, provided it has a punny enough name, you can have it.
That's good. That's a lot of. Yeah, I'll try to do that. Yeah.
Unless it's like this sex machina, it's a cod piece that means I can get out of any situation.
I mean, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
No, I'll make it.
Ghost already invented that, so you can't have it.
No, I'll any inventions that I have, I'll let you know and see.
You get one more, which I just came up with now. It's called divine intervention. You can, if a god isn't acting the way you think is good, you can hold an intervention for them, and they'll come and you blindside them and you let them know that they are loved and surrounded by friends. But there is help. That's divine intervention. Is that?
I have
absolutely take that one, Paul, because he doesn't really know how powerful that is. That's
that sounds amazing.
That's immediately imposing ourselves upon a god.
Yeah, or force, that a god owes us a favor. That sounds incredible.
Or they hate you forever for they're not ready to accept the change within themselves.
That's true. Yeah, if they don't want to go to rehab, we can't make.
Not intervene on Bacchus, or
I will ask, what does that device look?
Divine intervention.
Yeah, since there's a cloak and a mask.
The last one is a kind of ream of like paper papyrus, and the way to activate it is you need to unfold it and hang it in a room with a door. And once you hang it and write the words like "We're here for you," name of God, the god now has to enter the room and they see the banner. They see the banner and they go, "Okay, it's an intervention."
That is insane, but
right. I'm already thinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna build that one.
If it comes to the point, that we do lose, and then Rua is essentially arguably a god, let's trap her in a room.
My first thought was using it on Rua. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really, that was my third or fourth thought. So well done.
Yeah, you can also build divine intervention, but divine intervention takes roll. I wanna figure out a number of dice that could get you a couple of days beyond the final fight, just out of pure luck. But I can't give away what that is. So roll a d20, because at least at least 10 days have passed.
Yeah.
I got a 13.
13. It'll take you 13 days
That's not
to
right.
make that.
Okay. That's a crazy. It'll take 13 days.
Yeah. Let me just make a note of that, because I will definitely forget to make divine intervention. But you also now, in theory, have a timer, because every day you work on it, at least you can always ask Grander, how long have you been working on that? At least
somewhere in here I wrote how many days we had left when I finally figured it out. But
if you find that, let me know, because my math could be wrong too. I'm notoriously bad at math, so I think I have it right.
Yeah.
And even if I don't, I get to say I'm right, as is the mantle of DM. Arlington, is there anything you would like to do?
I actually think it's not as exciting as that, but I want to take out Bigby's Big Book of Books, which I haven't read in a while. And I want to try and do some prep for the next time we're in a city, and I want to see if I can look up any books on war or battle tactics or like leading an army, any kind of like whatever this world's version of Sun Tzu is, or what's that fucking awful Trump book, The Art of the Deal.
The Art of the Deal.
Anything about manipulating people, but in a good way. I basically want to get a load of reading material for rallying people to a cause and getting if we get an army, how to actually use it, because I have some of the memories of an ancient high king, but I don't really know how to lead an army.
Yeah, that's a good. That is a good request. Make an investigation check. I probably should have been asking everyone to roll.
Nope, just me. That's fine. I missed a couple of sessions, and now I'm the butt of the joke. 9.
9. You find one book by an author called Edwin Starr, and the name of the book is War. What is it good for?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be that. Subtext.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully the answer's inside, because that would be worth it.
Yeah. You don't want to open that book and find out it's worth absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Colonialism.
At the last page, in summary, war is worth absolutely nothing.
And thus I have proven through many mathematical formulas that war, in fact, is worth nothing, which is actually pretty good, because it means it's not minus numbers. It all balances out. That's not a bad
true.
place to be. Have you've been sending letters to people, or did I misinterpret your sort of general recruitment drive? Because we said we kind of check in every couple of days.
Send ravens, send letters out to anywhere we've been, anywhere we might have a bit of a reputation, just to be like, okay, we helped you out now. Now you owe us. Basically trying to call in any and all favors. And like I've been writing to people that maybe Arlington hasn't met, but like people that would owe Hook favors or whatever, just on their behalf, being like, oh, his Lord Hook requests your repayment of, in kind or whatever. I call him on the thing of surprise, whatever that Witcher thing is.
Surprise.
So pick someone you've written to, and in a similar style that you do the Tig letters. Let's role play some Jane Austen letters back and forth.
Bumbling, childish Jane Austen. Got it. Shit. Oh, okay. I'm going to write to Fresh Prince of Kildare. Because I want a navy.
She'd be easy to write to because she's in that book.
Oh shit. Yes, there we go. That makes narrative sense. I definitely knew that.
Yeah.
God damn it, Keelan. My response was going to be like,
I'd say
Arlington.
Arlington's halfway through his letter, and then you like point out that you could do that. He's like, oh.
I see. I
know. I'm just practicing to make sure, because you can't redo a page on the book site, but have to practice on the loose scroll.
So he asked how to spell Kildare. And Prince. It's like, she's in the book.
I know. Thank you, though, my friend. And Arlington is also definitely speaking as he's writing, but he's holding it like in a fist, like a 6-year-old with a crayon. And he says, "My dearest Fresh Prince of Kildare, it's been a minute. How are things? I hope you're well. Did you know the world is ending? My friends and I are trying to stop it. When last we met, I believe we were on good terms. I certainly hope this is still the case. As the world is ending, we are in search of brave and powerful allies, and I consider you one of those. If it would become you to bequeath us your navy, that would be wonderful. Hopefully they work without the boats. I'm not sure where this battle is going to take place. Sort of everywhere. The material plane is in jeopardy. I think that includes the sea. Yes, have you seen Quail? It's been a while. I'm sort of worried about her. Anyway, right back. This is Arlington, by the way." That's what he writes.
You get a response, and while dictate this. Roll a D100.
Ooh. D hundo.
Arlington. I know. I was there when we made this plan. I hope you don't think it's literally been a minute, because far more time has passed and we don't have that much time left. Quail was on this ship. You last saw her in the Astral Sea. Do you remember the Astral Sea? Where he became a champion of a god? My orcs are by your side. A god would be very useful. Yours, good form, the Fresh Prince of Kildare.
Well, you see, well, this is just sort of I don't, well, I'm sort of, did we say, I'm sort of hurting my head. What is, this is embarrassing. Dear Prince, Fresh Prince, I forgive my incompetence. I was afraid that Quail may have been left in the Astral Sea. And I wasn't sure that we'd solidified the use of your troops. I did not mean to anger you. If I have given you the any illusions that I am a thinking man, I apologize, for this is not the case. I'm sort of three people as well, so sometimes I get confused as to who was last speaking. I'm the one with the beard. So sorry for wasting your time. However, while I have you, if you could forward any advice you may have on leading troops or an army, it would be greatly appreciated. Unless, of course, you've already shared that information, in which case I'm very sorry to bother you. Thank you, this is Arlington.
And close the book.
Oh, I've made a terrible fool of myself in front of a beautiful captain.
If anyone wants to see her reply, of course you can. All you need to do is open the book.
I will eke it open. I got a 39 for that D100, by the way.
Nice. 39. You know, as a player, and I know as a DM, and I'm saying this out loud so I remember it, because I sometimes watch back to see if I said anything like this. 39 orcs is what you have. She managed to get her crew and another ship. As part of her kind of thing was to see if she could become the Pirate King, now that Captain Trolltunga seemingly is, abandoned that position.
Nice.
You deke it open and you see, Arlington, I am not annoyed at you. Tone is hard to get across in text. I don't use emoticons. Okay?
Is that all in capital letters as well?
Yeah. The situation is tense, but I promise we are on good terms. Again, I am not annoyed at you. What would give you that impression? Also, on being a leader, my advice is to lead by example. I think I figured it out. It's my use of punctuation marks. I think you're doing a good job.
Aww.
I think leaning into being High King is a good thing. If you are three people, or one or two, be the best version of all of you. And listen to each other. Because no one likes a leader who disagrees with themselves. Yours, good form, the Fresh Prince of Kildare.
It's a little inspiring, actually. It's the reason she's a captain. I'll write one quick reply and then I'll be finished with the book.
And then Grud is going to write "Hell yeah" in big capital letters across an entire page. And then I'm happy with those correspondence.
Lovely. Yeah, nice. Hey, let's make a note of 39 orcs are part of your army so far against the, and they are pirate orcs. And to answer chat, she's going to become the Pirate King. Who knows? That's her story. We unfortunately are following these chucklefucks and not the exciting Fresh Prince of Kildare. But I don't know if we mentioned that out loud, but there was in my own DM notes the idea that there are these 5 pirate captains. And given that the world is ending, she is also trying to convince them that maybe taking over Hibernia won't be as easy if there's no Hibernia to take over.
Yeah, someone else is taking it over first. And
Yeah. And they're doing it from the land out, not the sea in.
Yeah.
Like, that was their mistake.
Yeah, I mean, Rua could get rid of the sea. Who knows? What's in the fairy place of the sea could just be land. When you superimpose them, flat floods. This is worse than I thought.
I've been trying to make it seem quite bad, so good to know.
Yeah,
it's finally.
Yeah, I was fine with everything before until I realized land might appear in the sea. That's bad.
The sea might appear in the land.
Yeah.
Finally gotten
Which I think is true of some. Like, a lot of people do say that to get to Tir na Og or Magmel or the other worlds, like entering a lake is the way to do it, because water transitions into land in their world and vice versa. But then there's also just being surrounded by a cool mist every once in a while. Ever walked home on a really foggy night and wondered if you woke up in the same world? You mightn't have. That's living in Ireland, baby.
Go over a bridge that's slightly misty, and that's it. That's it for you.
Yep. You're changing now. Sorry.
Yep. And you can't go back as well, because like hundreds of years could have.
Hundreds of years. You could just wait it out in the Feywild. Not your problem if 100 years passes. At least then you get pulled over. And you're like, nice. Free passage. Cool. So is there anything else you would like to do?
Are you speaking to a specific person when you said you?
I'm speaking to the royal hook.
Okay.
or anyone else.
I've thought of a question.
Nice.
That helps.
Yes.
Will we make it out of the underworld?
Will we make it out of the underworld? Nice. Can I ask you a favor as players? Just like talk to each other's characters for I don't know, like 30 seconds to 5 minutes as I come up with a limerick to answer the question.
I've asked if you know the way we're gonna have to die. I've asked if we'll make it out of the underworld, because that's my main fear. I think the getting into the underworld, that's the easy part. Literally everyone has done that, or will.
I have a question about the underworld. Do you Randy, we don't know each other that well. We're still solidifying our relationship and histories, and Huck, I know some of your encounters. Is anyone else, or not anyone, not just else, you know what I mean, sort of afraid of bumping into someone down there that maybe they're not quite ready to meet?
I literally hadn't thought of it.
Because I know we've put away some bad people, but there are others that maybe I'm not so comfortable that they're down there, and maybe it wouldn't be the best interaction.
Well, I reckon I've made friends with everyone I've met, so it'll be great. It'll just be full of friends.
My cousin.
And strangers.
Your cousins?
I don't want to meet my cousin. Nope. He's definitely down there.
And they're dead? They're no longer with us?
Nope, they're dead, and I owe them money, so I definitely know that he's going to ask me for money back, and it's not going to do him any good, but he's going to ask it.
If he hasn't gotten across if he hasn't paid the ferry.
Yes, he might need it to get across the River Styx. I hadn't thought of that. That could be a real concern.
Yeah, that may or may not be a real river in the underworld. There may or may not be a river we have to cross.
Maybe. But if that's the case, I will pay him back. But otherwise, I'm not paying him back.
Okay, well that's good to know that you're good for it if it comes to it, and of course we'll try and avoid it if we can figure out another way of getting them where they need to go. Excuse me, that boar meat was very gassy.
I also Go ahead, Huck.
Well, you were looking to raise an army. How about we find the way out of the underworld, and we just bring everyone with us?
I
All
can
of
think
our
of a few reasons that might not go down
all
quite
of our
so
friends
well.
will blast out of the underworld. We'll solve death. That'll be good. And Ruo won't see it coming. She can't kill all of the undead.
I feel like we might be then avoiding having one plane merge with ours in favor of another, effectively.
Aye, but this one will be in our control and full of our friends.
Huck, you're a magical fellow. Have you ever practiced necromancy?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never had any.
Roll a history check.
Okay.
As I also scribbled down
Have I
Randir's
practiced
cousin.
necromancy?
Randir cousin
Oh.
Oswinnie.
Oh.
Because that's important too. I picked that up as I was half listening to you.
Yeah, Randir was also going to wonder if he can sell beer in the underworld. Probably a lot of people that are thirsty. Because there's probably not great bars down there, so...
Yeah, true.
Yeah, if there
Everyone's
were, it'd
sick
be a
of
less intimidating
pomegranate
place.
beer. I got a 16.
16 is good.
Yeah.
As you and Arlington are having this conversation, you remember a phrase, Ardveen. Ardveen is the name of a horn, a giant horn that when blown will awaken all sleeping Fina, who will ride into battle.
Nice.
That
RV.
will be useful.
You know where that is. You know that is in the Bahaglen. And that the champion of the hunt, Minky Boodle, is sort of the man with the two keys for the red button, so to speak.
Okay, so the Fianna have that, and I'd have to go get it if I want to use it.
As far as you know, yeah.
Okay.
Send a letter? Cat? To someone close by or someone? Is there someone else in that random magical book that you can message to get that horn?
I have someone. I know someone who's sort of set up in the Bear Glen, but I don't. Actually, hold on. Wait a minute. What are the restrictions on this magical book? Who can we?
The restrictions are they talk to the other people who also have the magical book.
Okay, so just regular letters then. If we can make contact with the Bear Glen, Lambhog is sort of runs that place, and he owes us a favor. We spared his life.
And he seems like the type of person to honor that. I have no problem.
Well, you know what? He understands fear. I'd be willing to bet he wouldn't want the rest of his crew to know that he got bested by me. I know I'm pretty jacked and buff, but in that crew I was sort of the runt of the litter. And if word got out that he lost me, I guarantee you, first of all, Huck, I mean, you know me, I wouldn't lie to you. First of all, he definitely didn't tell everyone that I won. I'm telling you that now, alright? Straight up. Definitely lied. And if he wants me to keep that to myself, all we have to do is say, hey, know anything about this horn? You know, we'll phrase it better than that, you know.
He's famous for reading behind the lines. That was the sense I got from him. I thought you just go up to him, you'd be like, you know about this horn, and he'll be like, oh no, everyone will believe Arlington when he says he beat me. So I better go get this horn.
That's pretty much the gist of it, yes.
It's a foolproof plan. I'd say send him a lovely letter.
Well, look, I'm just saying, if anyone knows anyone else there, by all means, I just know that he knows the wilds of the Bear Glen rather than the cities, and I imagine that horn, isn't really going to be in a museum, you know? It's going to be in a cave or a tomb.
Or in the main Fianna base, being guarded by some lad.
Yes, also that. Okay, so maybe we should try the Fianna as well.
I'm sure the Fianna would probably help us out if, another...
Even if they don't already have it, they'd certainly be willing to help us find it.
We've aligned ourselves with... I thought they'd... Remember all the Fianna? They killed all your mates.
Yeah, but
I don't know what you think.
Isn't that one group? There's only one group. One faction of them.
I'll be honest. I'm the best Fianna. And I'm actually a Fae. So
you're a Fianna, we know that.
The rest of them can be quite rude. But they mean well. It's just that they have a lot of monsters to fight, and monsters generally don't mean well. It's a tough business overall, and I'm trying to
I was gonna say that I think the greater evil here, two planes colliding. So they'd probably be just like, yeah, let's stop the monster hunting for now and focus on.
Would they see it that way? I get the impression they'll sort of probably be more focused on the monster slaying.
There could be some of them that'll be like, well, all of the monsters will be on the. That'll be great. we can just kill them. We won't have to go into their plane.
Some of them have probably been radicalized. You know, they've gone down that funnel.
Well, it's just that I'm wary because we met a few bad eggs there. Trying to kill all the werewolves and us. So
we should trust the evil bandits. This is what I'm saying.
we all have some dicks in our past.
Yeah, not all of them are friends, eh, Hook?
Look, I'm just saying, let's defund the
friends.
Fianna. That's all we need to do.
It's not hard to keep everyone as your friends, even if they're trying to kill you.
Very wise words, my little friend.
Aye.
Huck, you get an answer.
Oh, yeah?
There once was a boy who died. Inside a teapot his soul did hide. And when he went to hell, he fared quite well. So he returned to the more living side.
That's great. That was just in my head, right? No one heard that?
Yes, just in your head.
That would be way creepier if suddenly that something appears
Yeah.
in everybody's head.
Yeah, well, it's a god talking, so you never know. I'll take you to ask me to. I'll take the rags off.
Yeah, they don't come off.
They don't come off.
Yeah. Rather, you don't want to take them off. Do you want to take them off? Do you not want to take them off? Make a charisma saving throw.
Well, that's fine.
Okay,
God damn it. God damn it. The worst roll a Lightfoot halfling can go through. Hey, charisma, you say?
Yeah. So I presume you got a 2.
Yeah, so I got a 7 overall.
Yeah.
The best I could have gotten with a 2.
No, these rags look good on you.
Alright.
Plus, it's nice to see into the future. Like, that's kind of useful.
Is it seeing into the future or is it just asking God's questions?
It's a little bit of both. A little bit of foretelling of
Well,
fate.
I'll keep the old. Can they have seen me act as if I was going to take it off, and then realize that it didn't come off, and then pretend like I was actually just adjusting it and I didn't want to take it off in the first place?
Yeah, make a perception check, Randir and Arlington, if you want.
I won't, because I think Arlington, with his duality of mind, plenty of times goes to do something and stops himself, and he thinks that's just how everyone acts.
No.
Yeah.
Like
if he
Don't
saw
go
someone
for the
talking to
breakfast
themselves, he'd be
buffet.
like,
That's a normal thing. Don't you all do that?
Rander got a 15.
15. Yeah, you see him you see Hook adjust his almost like he's going to take it off, but then like
he's going full
pair it
Rodney
with
Dangerfield.
pair it with an insight check. So you see him do this thing, but an insight will give you a bit more. What's the word? Insight.
Yeah.
I got a 15 as well.
Nice. This isn't just like, oh, I realized it's raining and I want to keep my jacket on. Like
My rags.
Rander, you've made plenty a magical item, which you've been like, whoa, accidentally put a little curse in that. Never wear that glove on. If I snap my fingers, I might die.
Yes.
So
That tap. The cursed.
the tap that never quenches your thirst, but always pulls you back for more. So you don't just go on putting magic items on yourself.
Are you okay? Wait, one question. By putting on his rags, has he taken his cloak off? Or has he just put the rags on over everything?
Question for Huck. Yeah.
I had taken off my other cloak because I presumed it was a cloak of rags that I had. I presumed I had to, which saving grace is, I guess I could put the other cloak on top of it. But no, I had taken my other cloak off, which was also wet. So I changed into my nice dry rags.
Okay, that would make this. That makes this harder because it's a lot more mundane now. Oh, you seem to be very comfy in those rags, Hook.
Oh.
So why wouldn't you, you not like your old cloak? I know it's wet, but
I thought about taking it off, and then I decided I didn't need. They're nice rags. They make my butt look good. See? And I turn around, show my butt.
Oh, you can't deny that. His bum looks fantastic.
It does look great,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
fair.
I prestidigitated.
Looks like two small hamsters in a handkerchief.
okay.
Um,
I'm gonna keep. Yeah, I guess he's not. Yeah, Rander's not gonna do anything at this point, but he's gonna keep an eye out.
I don't know.
Like, nothing physically has changed about Hook. Like that's a saving grace, I suppose.
What are
You know,
kidding me?
sometimes
Look at that.
Rander-
Of course, something physically has changed. Look at that
Except
bottom.
his butt has gotten better.
I
What
think
is the regime,
um,
Huck, my man? Is it just squeezes clamshells? Tell me what you've got going on. I need to add it to my
I
regime.
think it's the magical effect of the cape. It makes your ass look good. I reckon that's what I reckon I figured it out. Sure, you can talk to the gods, but they're probably only talking to me because my ass is hot.
Hey, listen, we've all talked to the gods and they've all got advice to give us or whatever. It's no big deal. No need to truth that. I'll ask the boys.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot. I asked a question to the old. This is a part of the. It's a divination cloak of rags, So I asked the old gods if we'd make it out of the underworld. Clever double question because it implies we're going into the underworld. And I got a response. Something about being a lad and going into a teapot and getting into hell. But I came away with the idea that perhaps we can trust the Morrigan when she said to give us a bit of her soul. That's the idea I came away with.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wes specifically forgot. I didn't mention that in my recap.
You remember?
Wary of trusting the
really paying
Morrigan, but maybe
attention.
I already agreed to it.
You weren't really. Oh no, we didn't. We didn't do it. You remember? The Morrigan was like, give us your soul, and sure, I'll hold it safe, and then you can go to the underworld, and then I'll give it back. That was basically what she said. But
yeah, it's like a part. She said if you give a part of your soul to stay on the living plane, it'll be easier to get back to here when we essentially die.
I mean, absolutely, of course, I remember all of that very vividly, but maybe I misremembered a little part. What did we offer her in return for this service?
oh no, she was doing it out of the kindness of her own heart. The Morrigan. She's famed for her kindness.
Was that a bit of your soul leaving? Or?
Yes, I believe so. I would be wary of this.
I will see. I was wary, and then I asked the old gods. You know what? Morrigan could have answered. I guess. I did. I wasn't specific. But
Huck,
one way or
my
not,
friend,
it was basically like put your soul.
Would you know which of the gods responded to you? Did they leave a name or a number?
No. No, they did a limerick, and it was about a teapot and a lad.
Would you mind if I tried on the cloak and tried to call up my friends? It could be handy if they might be able to offer some insight as well.
As a sidebar, do I mind?
You don't mind. Like other people wearing the cloak, that's fine.
Okay, I'm just because when I wasn't sure if I'm magically now obsessed with wearing the cloak.
No. Just that, like it's like you know what? I'll leave it. It's more lethargy. You're like,
Okay, yeah.
I won't take my shoes off when I come into the house. Like,
you could give a go to the magical rag cloak. I suppose you're a friend.
Certainly.
Here you go. I'll take it off now.
I'll put it on. I imagine it's more like a shawl on me than a cloak.
Yeah. It comes off Hook and it's on Arlington now. Seems happy.
The cloak seems happy.
Well, like, look, I'm just giving the audience a little insight about Mr. Cloak here.
Huck's now offended that the cloak.
No, the cloak was also happy to be on Hook. It was just
Arlington immediately spins around to see how his arse looks in this cloak,
and it looks. Mwah.
I knew it. I knew it was the cloak. I mean, well, that's not why I wanted
Arlington, you intrinsically know you can cast the spell divination without any material components or any cost. Of any sacrifice of a physical item, so to speak.
It's great. It's just a free, no no strings attached cloak of rags.
I can tell you what the divination spell does, but this will be the second time of the episode people have heard it. So.
Yeah, no, I've got it here. I've got it here.
It's
So,
basically
to
ask
answer your
us to
question.
get an answer about a teapot.
And I have to be truthful.
But we will have to do small talk as he figures out some kind of limit.
Yeah, I'll just use the same limerick, regardless of the question.
It only has one answer. He's just a magic 8-ball, guys. I know he comes across as a human being, but he's just a magic 8-ball.
Outlook does not look good.
Could you play D&D with just a magic 8-ball? It would be amazing.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, next time we don't have like the full cast. It's us
and
playing
D20,
players,
sorted.
and 8-ball is the DM.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm very into this idea.
Presumably got at least like a D8 in it or something like that. How many answers are in an 8-ball?
I think it is. There is actually a shape inside of it, and it's a bit of
yeah. I think it's a triangle.
Polyhedral.
I think it's it's three like D4 with different answers.
No. They'd all float up to the top. It's definitely got one.
No, because I think it's got a chamber in which it lets, because you do see sometimes one or two.
Look, as Arthur C. Clarke said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And I think we should trust in the magic of the 8-ball.
Okay, I have a question for the cloak.
Oh, okay.
So Arlington sits cross-legged, hands on his knees, and just kind of clenches. He's kind of like that's his way of praying. He's gonna head bowed, eyes closed. He's gonna say out loud,
how do we protect ourselves from any betrayal from the Morrigan?
How do we protect ourselves from any betrayal from the Morrigan?
You know what? That's because Ben has to think. I really can't say this next thing because he'd need to be involved. So that's fine.
No. We can step outside of the world and into us, friends, around a table.
Okay.
No, at some point in time, I discovered what Arlington needs to say in order to just go talk to the gods.
Which is why I was happy to give divine intervention to Paul, because you already have that. Since the Astral Sea.
I'd completely forgotten. Did I learn that phrase? We spent ages trying to figure it out.
Yeah, divine intervention means that we can actually get one to walk into a room at a set period of time and trap them there for a brief period of time. Whereas otherwise we have to go to them. It's got its advantages. I don't want to explain them to you because you'd not give it to us.
I am the enemy. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you're the enemy. So yeah, after he gets the answer, I'm going to be like, you could just go there and ask them yourselves. It would have been a lot more straightforward.
There is no better way to give myself 15 minutes to think of an answer than a sort of inbuilt thing in the show called the break. So let's take a break. I will spend that time thinking of an answer to how do we protect ourselves from the Morrigan betraying you. And if you are enjoying the show, if you enjoy playing tabletop role-playing games, if you want to get yourself 10% off DakotaIrish.com, head over to DakotaIrish.com and use the phrase Hux Punks. That will get you 10% off your cart. Christmas is coming up. They have their delivery times up on the website and across their social media channels. If you want regular postage, it's coming up soonish, end of November, I think. Especially the closer we get to Ireland and the further away we get to international. But there are some expedited, shipping methods for you if you really need to get that gift in time for Christmas. And you know what? This is just a personal thing. There's so many gifts at Christmas. If it doesn't make it for the day, I really like getting gifts after Christmas. It's like, oh fuck, December 28th gift? Amazing. So don't give your loved ones a hard time if it's not in the day. The day is just a state of mind. Yeah, take that, baby Jesus.
And that's why our days are only 10 hours long.
And that's why it's taken us years to pass a month on this show. We will be back in 15 minutes, and we will also be back with Lucy, who is here. She's been waiting to join for ages, but I've been having too much fun. So see you all back here in 15 minutes time. If you're listening to the podcast, see you back here in 30 seconds where you listen to us talk about some other stuff. Right. Catch you on the flip.
See you shortly.
Welcome back to part 2 of Homebrew. Hey, Lucy.
Hey,
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
look, I'm here.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting creep, but I'm here.
What are you drinking? Not that we actually haven't used any beer names today, so don't be nervous if you're not drinking anything.
Okay.
Sorry, actually, we did because it's raining a lot, so we already used water. Thank you.
we did use water, a lot of
Yeah,
water.
no, I know. I was thinking actually, I might need to go to work after this. Who knows?
I was
but
going to say.
Hmm?
No, it doesn't matter. So I didn't want to step over you. I'll say for that. This is literally what I was going to say. I was going to say I'll use my one thing now to boo Lucy and just go boo boo while she's trying to talk.
Oh
But then I
God!
just talked over it. So
I'll boo you right back. Yeah. No, I'm drinking some Wicklow Wolf. I've got some Arcadia and some Wildfire. So
Nice.
maybe either can help. They both sound like pretty girls' names. So
They both sound like Arcade Fire albums, to be
Yeah.
perfectly honest. Or songs.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine
or-
introducing yourselves like, I'm Wildfire? It's like,
Yeah.
you're not a person. You're either a beer or a superhero.
You're a Teen Titan.
Yeah.
it's odd to have an adjective in the name. Yeah, it's like let us decide you're wild.
Could I have a pint
You
of
don't start
Wildfire?
with the nickname and work backwards to regular name.
Exactly. Yeah.
well, yeah. Eventually, people got tired of naming kids after like virtues and stuff. We
Mm.
just went for Wildfire.
Exactly. What can go wrong?
This is
Well,
my
your
daughter
nickname will
Wildfire
probably
and my
really
firstborn
boring.
son Iceman.
Yeah, it's clearly someone looking for a team. Okay, Earth Boy, where are you? Yes, over there with Sea Snake.
Iceman, middle name cometh.
Nice, yeah.
Lucy, you know what we do in the show. You've been on the show before.
I'm
You-
familiar with your work, Ben. Yes.
Since the
Yeah,
start,
yeah.
you might say.
Since the beginning, if not beforehand. So let's dive straight back in. Arlington, you ask the tattered rags of divination a question. You asked, how do we not get screwed over by the Morrigan?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Crafted.
And you hear back, the Morrigan is easily spurned. This lesson is not lightly learned. Don't force her to race when child is on her waist. Avoid this, and you shan't be burned.
Don't force her to race when a child is on her waist.
Yeah. Literally, if you avoid that, you're good. And you might think people would avoid that.
Yeah.
Well, child on her waist. If she's pregnant at any part of term, that's not possible to tell. It's so difficult.
I was going to say, I feel so secure. I feel like Macbeth at the start of Macbeth.
See,
You know, there's no way trees are going to get up and start walking. You know,
I'm mostly concerned that
Don't
when
ask
it
her to
comes to
race.
problem solving, my stats are dog shit, except for running and lifting things. So if it comes to a challenge, I'm probably going to try and race her.
Okay.
Provided child is not on her waist, you will never face the wrath of the Morrigan.
Okay, sorry, what was the start of it again? I only have the second line here.
The Morrigan is easily spurned. This lesson is not lightly learned. Don't force her to race when child is on her waist. Avoid this, and you shan't be burned.
Avoid this and you shan't be burned.
Yeah. And of course, if you just say Jumanji, then the game ends. So
Wait.
Write that down just as a safety word.
yeah.
if all else fails, just start yelling Jumanji at Rua.
I mean, let's do it just to be sure. Like,
Yeah. Actually, it can't possibly go wrong.
What the audience won't know for years from now is that actually the hunter Rua is actually Iggy's mom from the start of the film. It's the same character.
oh, okay.
What a twist!
No, what a twist!
I've just written down my safe word is Jumanji. I really hope. And also this is also on a work pad as well, so it's going to be even weirder.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure
That's
they won't
not
be
a
that
t-shirt.
surprised.
It needs to be. My safe
Yeah.
word is Jumanji.
You should leave
It's
that out.
so good.
Just-
Like if you're in an office setting, like leave that out there. That's gonna color you in your workmate's opinion. Like that's really gonna be like. What?
mostly they'll all be like, "Oh, Jumanji's a great safe word, actually." I'm gonna change.
Yeah, the problem is that it's on a work thing that has a whole bunch of like work stuff. So eventually, I'm gonna read this in a meeting, and I'm gonna just blindly get down to the last line. It's like safe word is Jumanji. All right, any questions?
Just like Will Ferrell in the auto cue, just like I can't. I must say it.
And they were like, "Did you just say safe word?" And you're like, "No. The password for everything's Jumanji."
Yeah.
I said that out loud.
Quickly change it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Well,
more I
I
think about
recite.
it, the more I need a T-shirt that says my safe word is Jumanji because
Yeah,
it is their
yeah.
safe word.
I think that's one of the merches that we won't be able to do, being that Jumanji is definitely a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
I'm
The
gonna write
movie
it down.
makers have co-opted it, but I think it's a royalty-free concept, given the game existed far before the franchise. Surely.
Yeah, like Jenga.
Like Jenga.
And spelled similarly also.
Yeah, I reckon Jumanji was originally just a game of Jenga. That's what I've decided now.
So I recite that limerick out loud to the group. So we now all know it.
Okay.
Very proud of myself that I have solved the puzzle of the Morrigan.
So wait, did you just whisper into that code and then it told you the future?
Yes, but have you seen how good it makes your bum look? Look at these. Look, it's like high and tight now. I've never felt this before. But
That's
also,
your
yes, I
future.
asked it a question and it divined some intervention for me.
You have many spots in your future, I can see.
Oh, it's certainly. Or none, if this is going to solve all my problems. No more squats ever.
Arlington, I forgot to say, you remember that, remember I was trying to send you to the Divine Plane? And then
yes.
There was that whole thing with that monster in that place.
Yes, I nearly got eaten alive by a giant black winged creature. I remember. No, we didn't do it again. I remember that.
Yeah, well, that's because I figured out what you need. Remember, you needed to say something they told you told me, and I remembered what it was, and then I forgot to tell you. It's just, actually, you could just go and ask the gods. You wouldn't need a cryptic, give me my cloak of bags back. That's what I'm saying.
Well, do you remember what it is? Because I feel like it would certainly be good to have in the back pocket now that we've solved that.
I certainly do.
Huck, you remember all Arlington needed to do was whisper Manna McLear to the wind.
Yeah, that what it was. Yeah. You have to whisper. Don't do it now, or maybe whisper Manna McLear to into the wind. And sure, he'll be there, bright as rain, if that's an expression.
It is now.
As rain.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, I don't even know what I was aping. I can't even.
Right as rain.
Bright as rain.
Bright as rain, but bright as rain is quite nice.
Yeah.
Rain.
It's an Irish expression to any of the non-Irish people because we have a lot of rain, so we say bright as rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rain is splitting the stones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you say.
In hindsight now, I see why Ben made this a rainy and windy day.
Exactly. So we could finally talk about bright as rain.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bet. Do you know what? Maybe it would be wise not to go to that well too often. And it's good that I didn't realize that, and we're saving it for later on. And it's good to and maybe we use the cloak now and the wind whispering later on.
We don't have to be coy with the aid of the gods. As well. That's also an option.
Should we ask them about this whole soul splitting thing? Would they have an opinion?
It's probably good if we feel like we're not doubling down. I don't know if I can bring everyone with me, but I can certainly try.
He might just appear and have a nice chat with us.
That would be handy.
Maybe he has a cool, nice, godly, non-soul taking way that could help us. Maybe.
Well, he certainly didn't take my soul.
I mean, the Morgan one.
Right. Yes. Well,
Well, we could take.
Let's try and find out. Well, are we all ready to take a spin on the God bus?
I'm going to adjust myself, just assuming this probably God's going to be hot. I don't know. I'm just going to.
He is, and genuinely, if you search Manna McLear statue, there's one in Northern Ireland, and he's fucking ripped.
Okay, I'm just picking.
All of you, feel free to dip
some
into
of
a
the
tab
paint.
now. So fucking good.
Okay. I'm getting a little piece of paper ready to like see if I can do a little doodle of him when he's not looking, you know.
One for the bank later.
Like
I know.
sneakily taking a photo on your phone.
Exactly, I'm a celebrity. Yeah.
Such a creep.
That's in Londonderry.
Um,
He's
Yeah.
ripped. He's
okay,
ripped.
He's
I'm gonna
ripped.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna lean out from our sheltered bivouac and cup my mouth and whisper, "Pardon me clearly."
Make a religion check.
Ah, shite! I knew there'd be Odds my modifier is 0, so 14. It
Could be
could be
worse.
a lot worse.
It could have been a lot worse. Arlington. No, I'll explain it for the rest of the party. Arlington leans out of your shelter and whispers. And you see his hands just sort of like lanky and loosey dangle by his side, and he just sort of stands there swaying.
Hey, you all right there, buddy? I'll tap him on the arm.
No response from Arlington.
Does his arm swing a bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, that's either a great sign or he's lost his brain. But you know, easy come, easy go. Sure, he's got at least 2 more.
Can I try and like give him some inspiration, give him some motivation, like show a picture of what I think God is going to look like? You know, like Arlington, remember that this is where you're going. That's it.
Randy's gonna like, you know, check his like I guess try to check. He's seen people do this in towns, especially the town that he's been, but he's gonna like check his pulse, like see if he's still alive and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably
it
terribly.
Also, he has a pulse, but I'm also going to make a note for future campaigns that if any character ever wants to meet a god, I'm going to introduce the American Dream system, which is if you just and then push it on someone's chest, then like, yeah, sure, you got divine intervention coming. Also, don't try that at home.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to make death saving throws as well.
Yeah,
There's a chance you just die.
Because that was a creepy thing we all did as teenagers, and boy, did we almost die. So, he has a pulse. He's fine. He's just not here. Arlington, do you have a voicemail?
Like mentally?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, as in what I might say when someone.
Yeah, if you're just like completely not there.
Hello. It's not right now, thank you. I'll probably do it later on.
That's what you all hear. However, Arlington, you see that the storm clouds above, which are pelting down rain, begin to swirl and transform. The rain itself moves backwards, upwards into the sky, because Manon McLear is the god of nature, and nature is his domain. You see a giant hand come down from the sky and scoop you up in astral form. So he's taken your astral form out of your body. And as you rise up to the chiseled, handsome, I think he had a beard. And
he both doesn't have a beard.
It's clear that my type seems to be big, beardy men.
Make you feel safe.
Yeah, you come face to face again with Manon McLear, and as you rise up in his hands, he goes, "Well, just 1 second," and he splits you, and you see that you, in both hands, are Grud and Eramon.
Well, this is new.
My champion. Well, my champion. And he's trying to figure out which one of you.
Grud is pointing at himself. Me, champion over here.
My champion. Hiking. Bandito. Hiking.
Hiking.
Man who kills. Well, none of you kind of feel. I'm not feeling the weight of a champion right now. How did you get my number?
It's a long story. My halfling friend remembered.
And is your halfling friend is it?
No,
Is he my
well,
champion? Like,
it's sort of. I've been in the. Oh God, not the spiritual plane. Fuck me, what's it called?
the astral sea?
Astral plane. There we go.
Well, I was in the astral plane and I sort of hung out with the pantheon for a little while and was deemed worthy. And was named your champion. I was one person at the time. I believed so. So maybe it doesn't feel like a champion because you've split me in two. I'm sort of still grappling with that.
No. My champion's valiant. My champion's a leader. My champion's a force in nature. Would only ever destroy to regrow. My
Road
champion
is like shadowboxing and performing karate in the other hand. Like,
my champion would never harm an innocent, and my champion would never. Hold on. Snap the neck of a retreating man.
No.
It seems like recently, and my timeline's a bit fuzzy, because you'll understand. I'm a god, so like exact course of. Did you do that before? I feel like I made you a champion, and then a man tried to retreat, and you snapped the neck. That seems not champion-y.
Well, I mean, you don't just get to change your mind when you've done terrible things. If you've committed to a fight, you have to finish it.
I feel like you're the champion of ruin and decay. You're the champion of the Calyot. You've got the wrong god.
Well, no, I'm your champion. That's champion of Man and McClear. I was told so.
Can you prove it?
I'll pass any trial you set before me. I'm like pointing at Grot. Probably need him for it though. We're sort of a package deal.
Okay. And he slams his hands together. And you recombine and he opens them up. Well, if you're going to be my champion, I need you to just do an act worthy of the High King. Restore honor to the title. I can't divinely interfere without that. And you get the feeling his hands are about to part to drop you back, but you do have a moment's.
How do I prove myself to you? What should I do in your name?
Well, if I told you that, sure, anyone could be the champion.
Well, yeah,
He drops, but you do get to shout at him as you like a shooting star plummet back to your body.
What's your relationship with the Morrigan?
He goes, whoa. Sorry, did you say the Morrigan?
Yes, well, we're sort of in the middle of dealings with her, and I'm not really sure. She doesn't strike me as terribly trustworthy.
Mortal to immortal, not champion to immortal. Why? And don't tell her I was asking.
Well, we through one situation or another, we need to get to the underworld, and she's promised us that she can make sure we get there, but it requires a piece of our soul, and that's sort of a big old red flag for me. But we don't really seem to have any other choice, so might have to go for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like you have a lot of trying to get to the underworld.
Do you know of any other ways to get there, with our souls intact? Or safe, at least?
Death is the most natural way.
Sort of circumventing that one, though. Not really done living quite yet. Hard sell to the rest of the crew, too.
Word of advice. When you're face to face with the god of nature, perhaps don't suggest the unnatural.
Fair point.
And at this moment in time, Arlington, you feel from a different time, a different distance, Iggy's inspiration hits you. Blam! Inspiration. make a like ultimately condensing this all into one goal and outcome that you want. What do you want? What are you trying to get Mana and McClear to do for you? Or what's the end goal?
I'm looking for religious guidance, I guess, because Arlington is not an educated or religious fellow, so he doesn't know what is. He's not even a particularly ethical fellow. He's been taught like some things are wrong and right from Tig, but like it never even occurred to him that snapping the neck of a retreating man is sort of a faux pas or a war crime, whatever you want to call it. So he kind of wants to know not what Manon and McClear wants to hear, but like what behavior befits his champion. Like what would be a heroic champion of the gods thing to do.
Nice. In which case, I would say that is insight.
Insight, also a +0. It's a 10 plus. Yeah, what is that? Are the 8 now?
Yes.
88? D10?
Yes. Oh, are they 10? They were 8 last time. Where's the book?
You're level 10, so you might be. Maybe that's at level 12. You get your 10s.
Yeah, because I think it only went up recently to another.
We went up just. Didn't
it go from a 6 to an 8?
We'll go with D8 for now. For now.
That's the last time I remember doing
it. 3, so 13 altogether.
13 altogether. You don't know if there's a specific act. Like, if there's like, oh, well, that's it. Clearly, if I just did that, if I planted a tree, that would obviously make him happy, But you get the feeling that there was a little hint in what he was saying, that his champion is valiant. His champion is a leader. His champion is a force of nature. Now, a force of nature is a bit of a weird turn of phrase, because what is nature? And I was trying to figure this out recently. They teach courses on this. My interpretation of what nature is something that happens without outside interference. So like nature happens when we don't interfere. That's kind of, I don't know if I'm there yet. I'm also willing to hear other pitches for what nature is. So if anyone has an idea of what nature is, like, shoot it in. And if Arlington can be a force of nature, whatever we define that as, that is like a, Hercules golden string returning sort of act that will bring you back.
So kind of like chaotic, like checks and balances, like good and bad.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's
hard to say.
That much is true.
Nature isn't order. That is true. Yeah. So this helps because your insight was nicely middling. And it's really useful for me. I'll know it when I see it.
Okay.
But nature isn't order. And nature is unimpeded, like, interfering. It might be even too much to say what we were talking about earlier. Grud trying to stop Aramon, Aramon trying to stop Grud. They're interfering with each other.
Right, okay.
Let's
going with the flow.
Like, if it's not too much of a challenge, Lucy and Paul, let's come up with a formula. Nature isn't order. Nature is not interfering with a course. Nature is, what else could we make it?
It's something innate within you? Something
innate.
Is that just because the word innate comes to as natural within it?
In nature. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. And Paul, what's nature?
I love how you've instigated a creative writing workshop. This
yeah.
This is so good.
So you just imagine Ben's working on a brand that
he's written limericks and now he's leading a workshop.
You're like, come on, What are synonyms I can use, guys?
I guess not. I don't know. This is a real kind of outside my box because I was just thinking planetology.
I need to become a botanist. That's it.
I guess or druid. But yeah. I guess nature isn't. It doesn't judge.
Nature doesn't judge. Nature is indiscriminate.
Okay,
That's good. That's really good. Nature is indiscriminate. It is not order. It is innate, and it does not interfere. It does not like things cannot interfere for it to be considered nature. That's satisfying. Not now, but it will be. Trust me, it will be.
Oh, okay. I'll write that down. This will be satisfying.
Sorry, I know you haven't been having fun for like 54 episodes, but trust me, we will be having
This
fun.
is finally Ben's
At
episode.
least the promise of it. So.
I mean, this would make sense. This would explain why, like, you know, if Ahriman was High King is kind of like imposing your will and all that kind of shit. So it would explain why Ahriman isn't as well as Grud. Okay, this is kind of fitting.
This actually tips something into Grud's corner. I feel like Grud's been taken aback. Like, you know, High King. Oh, how cool! But like Grud's my favorite between you and me.
Oh yeah, but like Grud doesn't do what anyone tells him to do, and he's I think
What we're
Grud's
trying
kind
to
of
say is the power has been within you all along. Is the nice.
It's
you
the
land
original
back
odd
then.
couplet. They just needed to listen to each other.
Blam! Arlington, you're back in your body.
Oh, Arlington, now tell us all of the very specific answers. Did you figure everything out?
So all the gods are going to come and just stop Rua.
Oh, tell us
And
everything.
everything will be grand.
Did you offer them my beer?
Well, the good news, I did speak with Manor McClear.
Oh, excellent.
Bad news, it was mostly focused on me on a personal level and how I can grow as a bugbear and as a man.
Selfish.
Not so immediately prescient as to dealing with the Morrigan. But I feel like if I follow those tenets, we can deal with her more easily. He did say the best way to get to the underworld is to die. So I don't really think we have any other options than to go with her deal.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. I realized as you were doing it that I shouldn't have told you because you were just going to go out and do it. The last time, you remember, I gave you loads of tequila potion to make you charismatic when you talk to the gods. That didn't work, and you met a big monster. This time round, just let you go at it.
I don't really... don't get me wrong, that was a complete bumblefuck on my part, and you were wrong to trust me. But I don't really think charm would have helped me too much here. This guy was like, I literally fit into the palm of his hand. I don't think I could have charmed my way out of that situation.
I don't know.
No, you don't understand.
In and out of every situation. That's
I
all
did push-ups. I shadow boxed. I did a backflip at one point, not completely, unfazed.
He wasn't even impressed with the backflips.
Not at all. Like he's seen a million of them. I don't get it. This guy.
Such a cold-hearted god.
But if he's
a tough guy, I kind of want to impress him more now. Actually, if it's all the same to you guys while we figure out our plan, I'm just gonna go hang out in the rain for a little bit. Feels a bit more natural to me. But I'll be just outside if you need me.
I'm gonna walk outside the bivouac and sit cross-legged in the rain and try and feel the grass between my toes.
And
if
we
there is
never
grass.
saw Arlington again.
Are you grand?
Yeah, I'm just going out for a walk. I'll be back.
Maybe sometime.
It is about the time when you know that you're going to organize and meet your father, Iggy, back as a flat. Enough time has passed in your sort of camp site. And I know we kind of said you set up campsite immediately, but either it's about the time you need to make shapes and get to the place you said you'd be meeting.
I will, not hard to get the rags back into the bags. The hides into the hiding hole, whatever it was called.
Yeah, Randy's going to help take it down, and he's going to offer.
Yeah, I'm going to resist reanimating all of the hides so that they do a dance into the bag, like in Sword of the Stone.
I'm gonna start chucking the hides off away. It's like,
no, I don't need them anymore. So tired. I'm taking too many of my creature comforts, I think. Need to go back to my wild man roots. I used to live in a cave. Do you know that? Did you know I used to live in a cave? I didn't know what a bed was for the first 10 years of my life.
He's going through a phase.
Yeah, I didn't think anyone's surprised.
To be honest, I didn't think about it because I've only met you.
I mean, I would say it's been at least 20 years. How old are you now?
I'm 12.
12. Okay.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. I'm 36.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would say it's 36 years since you heard the word bath.
Which?
Oh, exactly. Never mind. Actually, we went to one, but we all forgot about it anyway, so it's grand.
Bats are for stats.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
There are a pile of hides if anyone wants them, add them to your inventory. I don't care. If you've been looting pots from villager houses this whole time, it's fine. Just let me know.
Yeah, this is Skyrim spec when you realize for some reason you've got shitloads of plates and cutlery that are worth nothing.
You've been carrying books for days. You gather up all your stuff and you make your way towards Ingy. As you all trudge away from where you set up your little camp and you head further west, away from where the kind of crack in the ravine is, towards that sort of rocky, hilly outcrop that you so loved as a child. Kind of your spot where you'd go and you'd draw and you'd daydream and you'd see village life from afar. It is a safe distance from the town that your presence hopefully won't be noticed by the Moor Demon. Mm-hmm. And you feel fairly comfortable in that. And fans of the show will remember this. It happened a couple of episodes ago. You see a shape come from the rain in a sort of sealskin cloak, sort of a hulking figure approach you. And as their hood comes back and you see a sort of big bearded, because I also have a crush on Iggy's dad apparently. Big bearded man. We play out the scene where Iggy ran and hugged her dad and said hello and asked about Rua. And at this moment in time, fuck, the bottle's still in my fridge. Now would have been a good time to show it on screen. You know her name is Maeve. Maeve Rua.
Maeve, yes.
We will pick up. This isn't me ending the show. We will pick up at that moment in time.
Wait, sorry, Maeve Rua has the big bushy beard?
No. When we kind of played out this scene during the montage episode, maybe like 5 or 6 ago, we learned that Rua's real name was Maeve.
Right, yes. No.
Yeah. Named after a beer called Maeve Rua, brewed by the White Hag.
Okay, yes, I have that here. I didn't write actually that much more than that.
Now you actually know. And thankfully it didn't actually come up in the episodes, so there was no like meta gaming.
Can I ask?
Sorry, Zuckerberg.
I don't know if this is metagaming because I think my character would know this, but should I be aware of something within either mythology or games where there's something about knowing someone's name?
I could tell you if you'd like. I'm sure it's classic Fae knowledge. No, I mean Huck could probably.
Okay, so maybe when my dad said that name, I can sort of ask you there. Does that help?
I mean, and I think it has come up actually now that I think of it. People have said it's the classic way of getting into control of some Fae. If you know their true name, like I've told you all that I'm called Huck, and that's great. But it sure isn't my full name, because otherwise you'd be doing all sorts of stuff, making me clean things. Anyway. Yeah, that's mad powerful if that's the way. That's basically it. That's all we need.
Wait, what do you mean? What can you do with someone's name?
What you do is you say their name and then you ask them to do stuff, and then they just they can't. They're powerless because you know who they really are. It makes more sense when you're Fae. I've never had to explain it to someone who's just not a Fae. It's like when someone has your real name. We've all been there. Don't be telling me you've been going around. Iggy's not your real name, is it?
No, my real name is Lucy.
Oh no! You told me your real name.
I know. Sorry. Wait. I don't know. Something came over me, just as some sort of strange demon. But okay. So I just want to check in case Ben, you thought that I knew that. I didn't know.
No, it's an act, and that's very succinct. Mechanically, what that means is Rua is no longer immune to charm spells.
Ooh. But only from Iggy or anyone who knows her name, right?
Oh, anyone who knows her name.
Let's just instead of the army have a big poster campaign, post the whole world with their name everywhere.
Okay, I'm making a mental note to immediately write that name in the book, right? Like tell the other guys.
We'll send out a mass mail through the postal. Oh shit! Shit.
Let's hire the Sky Tigers to rise in the sky.
Everywhere.
I also have a correction for the show. I now hate Unpust, and we'll get into it in another episode. But something has happened in my life recently, and I know I hate Unpust.
I've heard them for a long time. I look forward to hearing.
Okay.
I'm fine with them, but they do have to deliver something tomorrow. So if they fail to do that,
Cool. Then full run.
Coming for you.
yeah.
The author Patrick Rothfuss explained this really nicely, I think, in his book The Name of the Wind, where he says names have power, and he did it in a really tongue-in-cheek way, and it doesn't spoil the book at all. I recommend you read it. Where he goes, the main character, I think, asks one of their lecturers, like, that can't be true, and he goes, watch this, and he just goes, like, for example, if Keelan was walking across the courtyard, being like, Keelan, and then only Keelan would turn. So it's like names have power, because it's like no one else turned. So yeah, it's a really lovely way to do it. Like no one else responds to their name, in the same way that you do.
So now I can just say Lucy, and that'll break her out of Icky's character.
What? But Icky is so not like Lucy. No one will believe this connection, Keelan. Lucy actually has a strong accent.
She's been Australian this whole time.
That's the accent that came out. I was trying to do American. This is why I don't do accents.
I thought you were doing like a 1920s gal. Like
yeah.
I kind of went Australian as well, and I thought you nailed it. So
okay. So are we still with my dad, or what's going on?
Yeah. We're literally picking up in that moment in time that we left like weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he knows what's afoot. So I want to tell him, as if, obviously the last time I had this conversation, this hadn't happened yet, but I'm saying it now, which is about the, so in the spirit of actually trying to do something to help the whole more demon thing, we did meet the Morrigan on the way who said we could go down to the underworld and like keep our soul and stuff. Where do you land on that as a good or bad plan?
So let me get this straight. You've met the Morrigan, and you're going to confront the more demon, Iggy. Is that the plan?
Well, maybe.
Huh. Anyone who wants can make an insight check.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I want to think, or maybe I know I'm just blinded by.
As he continues, he goes, and Iggy, what makes you think? What makes you so sure this demon exists?
Well, everything that's happened here, everything that's been, I've seen people put under the spell, and I went and I went to Drake, and I went to the Temple of Life, and I told them, I went to the library, and I heard about the Moor demon.
Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? What's happened here? Like what? What do you mean?
Happens when people, how people have been dying here? How we've lost everyone? How people get taken over?
Oh, you mean Mrs. Keltoy? Well, sure. I've never seen her once salute a magpie.
I'm sorry. What? Mrs. Who?
Well, Mrs. Keltoy. She went missing around the time. Well, a little bit before, I suppose, when you went off, and sure, look, well, of course she went missing. She never once saluted a magpie, so.
Getting real crazy vibes from a papa here.
Okay, yeah. I do an inside check there.
Yeah. What was
did roll one there as well.
I got a 23.
Yeah. 23. Yeah, 23. And a reminder as he says the next thing, it's like, an old rummy. Should an old rummy go walking up by the Three Castle Head and see the White Lady? So of course old rummy passed away. So yeah, that makes it like you go up by Three Castle Head and you see the White Lady. You're gonna
he
die.
thinks he's in West Cork. It's a beautiful location, that spot.
23. Randy, you get the impression that Iggy's overactive imagination has been how Iggy's dad has sort of just indulged is the wrong word, but like, you know, your kid comes up with fantasies and, you know, you sort of play along in their world, but he's not really taking it that seriously. Like, you get the feeling that he's maybe indulged Iggy a little bit in this more demon thing, but actually there's a very simple and clear explanation to why these things have been happening around the town. You know, sure, didn't they? And he starts naming off people. Soup, you know, Soup. Sure, didn't they go in one door and go out the other? So, of course
What are you talking about? I've seen it. Quick editor's note. Was it his wife or was it his daughter who?
Both. So I think we figured this, and audience excludes us because myself and Lucy figured this out over many pints, many years ago. So we had named the stepmother Olivia, I think, is what we gave her a name.
And that's what I thought died, yeah.
Yes. So Olivia did pass away, and she did die. But then, Iggy, you know this. The more demon came to you in a dream and said, "Stop interfering with this town, or something bad will happen," and you interfered one more time, and your stepsister died. Yeah. Your stepsister doesn't have a name. I hesitate at this moment in time to be delicate about it, to give her a name like Lemsip or Hops on Acid.
I was going to
say, can we for just a little bit of respect for Iggy's family, maybe not name.
Maybe she could be called Wildfire. I think we might have named her Wildfire.
Wildfire is nice.
Wildfire is good.
Yeah, Wildfire, I feel
and like Lemsip can be her middle name.
Yeah.
And Hops on Acid can be her nickname.
My second suggestion was going to be 17 Plato.
So what are you talking? I'm gonna take out from my pictures. I'm gonna show pictures of my sister of Wildfire. You know, it's just say like, you know what happened? She went into a trance and walked over the edge. So, what do you?
No one knows where Wildfire went. I mean, the last I saw Wildfire, she was picking flowers on Bealtaine Eve. You know not to pick flowers on Bealtaine Eve.
Just to clarify on something on that insight check. So, my insight into his thought process is the fact that he's indulging in Iggy's over imagination. So essentially, that all these folklore kind of things is actually what happened to him. That he deeply believes that that's what happened.
He deeply believes that if you do not salute every magpie you pass, if you pick flowers on Bealtaine Eve, if you go in one door and come out the other, if you go up Walkabout Tree Castle's Head and see the White Lady, bad things will happen to you. Like,
we're all there, right? But we're not.
Yeah, you're all there. Yeah.
Chiming in. It's just because, if I may ask, and I love a good piece of folklore, you know, like the saluting at magpies and the you know, all of that. How long have you thought these things? I mean, did you think them? Did you realize after the person died that you shouldn't be picking flowers on Bealtaine? Or did you always think you shouldn't be picking flowers on Bealtaine?
Well, I'm Bacchus, by the way. I'm Iggy's dad. Nice to meet you.
Hiya, we're Hux Punks. I've kind of, you know, taken Iggy under my wing, I guess. You know, because I'm the leader.
Oh, have you?
After the branding there, you know.
Okay, yeah. Well, Iggy, Huck, is it? Oh, Hux Punks, come here. And he pulls you to one side and he goes, so you've taken my daughter Iggy onto your wing. I hate to say this. Iggy's very precious to me, you know.
She's precious to us all. She's one of my best friends. She's in Hux Punks.
And look, I know when you're out adventuring and stuff like it, it's just, you know, between men, you know, don't be. I can trust you to you know to not be. You know what I'm saying, Hook? Like Iggy's my daughter, so like I don't want to be having a conversation where I have to come to you after like you break her heart or something, and I have to
break her heart. No, I I honestly I have no idea what you're talking about, but it's not.
Is he asking for my hand?
Which one of these dwarves will Snow White be marrying?
Oh,
no,
you're
we
not.
only have one dwarf.
Sorry, okay, you're not Iggy's boyfriend.
Oh no, and I am a boy and a friend. What's a boyfriend?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Just don't be taking the piss.
I've never even had a notion of taking any of her piss. To be honest,
Good.
her piss is her own.
I'm glad we settled that.
I haven't even asked her for some steam off of her piss.
It seems to be going well over there.
But while we're talking, it's just how many of these superstitions? Sorry, great superstitions.
Someone trying to be delicate.
Have you got for where people just die for things?
Well, I mean, look, I know it seems wild and it seems a bit mad, but like when you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, it has to be the case. And like yourself, if you're going to market and on your way to market you see a red-headed woman, don't go to market that day.
I've honestly never heard that.
Well, have you ever
just
looked at a new moon through a window?
Anyone?
And Bacchus and Hook come back to the group, and Bacchus now has his arm around Hook. He goes, good lad, yeah.
Can I ask Ben? Is this normal to me, or was he like this when I left?
He was a bit like on Agla's always been a bit like this, but not as like in the same way that sure, not to drop spoons. You drop a spoon, look, you're done for. You know not to knock over chairs when you stand up. That's just bad luck. You know that there's always been bad luck superstitions in this town. It's as if it's the epicenter of every single superstition that's ever existed in Ireland exists in this town. But in your growing up, they were just that. It's like that's fun things to say, but only since the Moor Demon have people really bought into it.
Okay, and he's just had trauma upon trauma and lent into it that way. Okay, sorry.
And when someone has that level of like, when there's that much trauma, you have to find solace in a reason, and his reasoning and the town's reasoning seem to be, well, like you tossed water out of a house without saying away dirty water. Okay. So they all do this now.
Okay, so I'm more just like a sort of resigned, like I don't know what I shouldn't have asked all those questions essentially because I know his stance on it in that sense of like, yeah, Dad, no, I know, yeah, that's sorry, of course, those, yeah.
You become infinitely aware at this moment in time. You know more about what's actually going on than anyone else in the town.
Bacchus, can I ask you a question? You seem pretty calloused about explaining why these people died. You sad about it?
Or gone missing, or wherever they've gone. No one said that.
But are you sad they're gone, or is it kind of like, oh, it's raining today?
Well, like, yeah, of course, so someone up until today, I didn't think I'd see Iggy again. And maybe I'll see, and I didn't think I'd hear about Maeve again, and yeah, maybe I'll see Wildfire again, and maybe I'll see Olivia again, and or a small town, and small towns go through a lot, It's tough. It's hard to survive, and some people go out and find their, they find what they need to find in the world, and we just get on with it. That question, Arlington, without any insight check, and Iggy, you recognize this more than anyone else. This is the first time he's considering that these superstitions are coping mechanisms to explain a more
human,
everyday, just Right, James. I was
Explain
trying to
more.
make an analogy to Ireland and our past, but actually in Hibernia, to explain a demon. Yeah. Yes. Exactly that.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna give him a hug and
I'm
it's
gonna,
okay, Dad. Look, I'm back. Maybe you'll see them again. Yeah.
Iggy, you think the demon's behind this?
That's what I heard. I didn't know. That's what I've been off trying to figure out. I'm gonna show him like what I have so far, like the research.
Yeah, you take him through it. And he goes, Iggy, as hard as this is to believe, and I don't mean to say one thing, obviously I miss Olivia and Wildfire, and I missed you, and I missed Maeve before that, and maybe I moved on too quickly from your mother, and I shouldn't have, and that's on me. But there being a reason, there being a Iggy, I thought it was me. I thought I was cursed. Everyone around me something seems to happen to them, and I thought I was happy you got away from me.
No, well, I think that's something we share because I feel like it was my fault as well. I seemed like all the people I knew were disappearing and I couldn't save them. So here we can have that in common. Hugs.
But it's not our fault. It's this bastard demon man's fault.
Yeah, demon, yeah.
Doesn't it?
And if we can give mighty fierce justice to a demon, then well, that would solve the town. Back
It's not
when
us,
I
Dad.
was a
We
kid.
have faults.
In the background, Huck's making a sign that says "More love, less demon."
Randir's also going to give the berries that he got from the Lover's Bridge.
Oh yeah,
You got some Johnny McGorry berries.
Yeah, and I've made a brew from it, so I'm gonna give both Iggy and her father some. But as I'm giving Iggy some, I'm going to go. We are going to the lands of the dead to get your father to give your family a message, and they could reply to it. Would be nice.
Well, am I being wildly setting my expectations too high, and that I'm thinking maybe we can bring them back with us? Is that crazy?
Hey, we can give it a go, but
Just to give a sense of where my expectations are, I think my stepmother and sister maybe are coming back. Just the
well, as a contingency plan.
Okay, you're right. You're right. A message
From your father, and we can get a message from them if we can't come back.
Okay, yeah.
But Iggy, I think you're right. I mean, if this Moor demon is kind of taking people from our village and they're not fully finding their rest, then they haven't fully crossed over.
That's what I'm hoping. But that it's interfered from what I saw and what I've heard. It's interfering with what life and death should be. So there's mate, but I don't want to get your hopes up. We have to listen.
But maybe there's a pocket of them existing. You could bring them back. Iggy, you could bring them back.
Hold on a second. I've just had an amazing
everything
epiphany.
could be fixed.
I'm gonna clap my axe in both hands and be like,
You're saying these people were taken out of your town unnaturally. Oh, it sounds like I've got a divine justice behind me. I can bring back your people.
Yes.
You will delve deep into the underworld and bring them back to this town, for I am on a mess. I'm on a fucking army. What the fuck is the word I'm thinking of? God damn it.
A mission from God.
Mission. There we go. I was like, I'm just thinking Blues Brothers. That's all I'm thinking of. There we go. I did the Blues Brothers speech. That's what happened.
But what I love is that you take Grud's Southern Charm and Aramon's posh thing, and you get Pastor, which is perfect.
Definitely Pastor.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad that was picked up. But I was feeling a little evangelical there.
Yeah, you definitely went faith healer, and I was gonna say, is there a fourth one now?
It's a new character.
This
My child.
every
I have been risen again as a fourth personality. It will be difficult to keep tabs, but I trust and have faith that you will be able to follow along.
I am beginning to think that we need to give Wes more caricatures to play.
I think this guy's going to have some really nice, nuanced opinions.
Maybe next session I can put all your personalities in Wes.
Yeah.
Just play it out.
Yeah.
Like a two-parter.
You could get rid of us, and it could just be you and Wes plays 8 characters. Plays everyone.
It's the ultimate DM's goal. Just get rid of all the players.
And finally, the story I want to tell. You did see, like, I remember when we were chatting a couple episodes ago, and I know it was more than a couple episodes ago, that your dad seemed a little deflated and a little bit sad and a little bit morose. This idea that people haven't been lost has given him, and maybe this is wrong, but like unearned hope.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that in front of him. I regretted it.
Huck's entirely on board. He thinks we're going to save everyone as well. Just so you know.
We've kind of done it before. It feels like...
I mean, what's the problem in Harmon? Or what's the
I am only realizing now that this is a exact mirror situation of the McKellar village. And only in this exact moment in time, and I'm realizing that we've played this plot for plot, the exact story before.
We'll just save everyone.
Everyone's people missing, and then we just bring them back.
Look, it'd be nice to have a statue to us in your hometown as well. You know, it'd be more meaningful for you.
I'd honestly just like to be able to walk on the streets again. That would be pretty good.
I will. When there's a statue, no one will mess with you.
That's the dream.
It'll be like there's the. Oh wait, no, I was going to say floozy and jacuzzi, or
there's the derogatory term we give to every statue in Dublin.
yeah, exactly. Certainly female statues.
Yeah.
What was it? Floozy and jacuzzi. What's the one with what's the main one? The wagon?
Molly?
Yeah, what's Molly's one?
What is Molly's? Something with the...
The tart with the cart.
The tart with the cart.
And they all get more and more offensive, I'm sure.
Yeah, they really do.
If anyone ever, non-Irish people do come here, go see the tart with the cart. She's great.
It is actually a very good statue as well.
Yeah, statue, yeah.
Bacchus turns to Iggy and goes, Iggy, this is I'm proud of you. You were of everyone figured this out, and 2, we'll come back to me meeting your mother because I do want to see her again, and 3, you're not going to put yourself in harm's way if you confront this demon, are you?
Well, that brings me back to the whole, we're actually all in harm's way right now. Actually, Father, everything is trying to kill us. So, really, you know, we're all in harm's way. Yeah, so actually maybe we'll join our...
It'll be okay, because by the time we're attacking the Mordium, we'll have already gone through the underworld. Sure, nothing will be able to harm us after that.
Into the eye of the storm.
As all of you talk, you can tell that this is going over his head like the climate's fucked conversation is going over. Like, sure we are. Sure.
Yeah. Damn it, are we just like going around telling people that they've got 2 weeks to fix climate change? Because that's a bit late.
Midnight, guys.
Yeah. we got like 10 days.
It's 1 minute to midnight, and midnight doesn't exist in this realm. Yeah. So what?
You're 2 hours late. You're like the original Roman calendar. 10 months. It's all we needed. Well, Linky, are you thinking of going now?
I think that might be on the agenda. Yes.
Can I help?
Yes, I think. Well, side note, can he help? What can he do? What can he do?
He's welcome to the afterlife if you'd like.
Yeah,
his job. We sort of put him as like undescribed rural man.
Yeah,
I think I was about to say tills fields. There's no fields nearby. Let's give him a job. Let's wreck on anything we have said in the past. Let's give him a job. I think he could be if there's he's a gun-tooting revolver.
Hey.
I'm thinking what job we could have for him. Could he help like?
He has to have
I
done
mean,
something.
if he's a gunslinger, that's pretty handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he caught Rua's eye for some reason. Presumably not.
Fastest gun in the east.
Yeah.
The greatest basket.
Where are we on Hibernia? I can't remember. West Cork.
We're
right,
in the
never mind.
northwest. Yeah.
Back in his gunslinging days, he used to be called Hops on Acid.
Yeah, your dad is a cowboy, but not like unlike every Western ever. This cowboy settled in the town, and it was his dame that got away.
Yeah. I know.
He's a cowboy. Maybe he's a cattle rancher.
I'm afraid to let him. I'm afraid to let you come with us, Dad. Emotionally, in a battle situation, seems.
Oh, I'm not going with you. That sounds terrifying.
Okay.
To be fair, we always come out okay, but people who come with us, a lot of the time they die.
Iggy, I recently got some new shoes and I put them on my bed, so I'm avoiding all dangerous situations because that's unlucky.
Oh, Father.
But if I could give you anything, or like, maybe asking if I could help a silly.
Maybe you could, just help get everyone in the town on board, and anyone who can fight for future battles. And I'm going to pass you over to my our war PR department of Arlington, to be like, try and recruit some of these guys.
War PR is a great term.
Mr. O'Flyer, we will absolutely accept any and all able-bodied men for the war effort that was conceded. However, I must first and foremost ask you, how difficult is it to fire one of those pistols? Because it seems a little small for my larger hands, but I would very much like to shoot one.
These 6 pieces?
Oh yes, I like them very much.
And he spins them backwards. He spins them forwards. He gives them a little flourish. Yeah, guns suddenly exist because this is the type of thing that can happen at the end of a show, and we've all been drinking. This entire time, guns have existed apparently, but we're sticking with it because that's the show.
Well, you could
Wands, whatever.
You could say that he's a gunslinger in the sense of Stephen King. Say JFK was a gun.
Oh,
yeah, it's just a person who's it's like a knight.
Gunslinger.
Spoiler.
I forgot about that, actually. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, let's say he has a gun. He has a 6-piece.
Man,
he has a revolver. But it is a revolver that's essentially 6 shots of magic missile.
Yeah.
That's how we do.
And is it like he has the town gun?
I feel like he's taken my finger bands.
Your finger wands idea.
And he's turned it into a real thing. It's shocking. I'd never heard of it.
Not too hard to fire. You just point at the thing. Actually, rules is written. You can point it anywhere. Magic missile finds its target. These things are really fucking good. Poo, 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 poo. And they all shoot up into the air and then just like, wee, 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 and hit a tree, like nowhere near where he was shooting. But you need to make some sort of, cool check beforehand. Because if you're not cool, if you're not a cool hand, Luke, then these things don't hit the target.
I must say, I enjoy how enthused you are when you speak of these things. It's almost like your entire personality changes when you talk about it.
It's almost as like, in the moment, this character has changed.
Really
he takes them out again. He shoots them. 6 cans behind him, paying off a fence.
If there are other able-bodied people in your village, I would certainly like to round them up, and it would be great to have people ready for a fight if we come back with any demons that need to be slain.
Well, there is one as he settles back into his calm, soft-spoken dad voice, and not the gunslinger of his man.
Guns.
He suddenly felt like he was like, it's like the first time I saw the Eagles when I was 17. And he goes, well, there is one man I can think of, Mr. Wildheart. But Mr. Wildheart just had a kid. Actually, the strangest thing, they had a kid there. Do you remember the Wildhearts? They had a kid.
Yeah.
And at the same time, their pup had a litter. So he mightn't be that keen on leaving his newborn kid. They called him the weirdest name. They called him Pim. Can you imagine a name like Pim? 1 syllable. I'm fond of at least 4 shortened into 2.
Wait, did you say
Wildheart.
the kid was called Pym, or Mr. Wildheart is Pym?
The kid is called Pym, but Mr. Wildheart is Pym's father.
Right.
And because he's had a litter of dogs, he
babies.
doesn't care about having a child anymore. Is that what you said?
No, sorry. The strangest thing is that when the kid was born, at the same time, a litter of dogs was born.
I feel like
Right. It sounded like then after that you said, and so he might not want his kid anymore.
No. So
Him
we
and
might not
Whiskey
want
the
to run
same
to.
age.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
That all happened in the What If episode.
I was gonna say that part of Randir has just like has a tear rolls down like Randir's face and he doesn't know really why. Like,
oh, that'll be because it's raining loads.
Yes.
And because of all of that impending doom and harm, maybe.
Also the doom, yeah.
And the touching moment with Iggy and her dad.
Yes.
No, it's probably the doom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Randy's an emotional guy.
Yeah.
And their friend sacrifice in that other realm. I mean, dragons. I mean,
Dragons.
Go on.
It's the dungeons that are making me sad, not the dragons.
Yeah. You're always empty.
To clarify, what I was probably missaying was that since he's just had a kid, he might be less inclined to join the war effort.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say that the baby would be useful for the war effort.
That's what I took it as well.
I thought he's got some dogs, so give his kid away.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who didn't read into any of this and just went, "Oh, Pym's been born, yay!" And so was Whiskey.
Whiskey. Yeah, this was a nice callback to that thing I set up a couple episodes ago.
We all read into it, Paul. You haven't been on the stream long enough to, you'll get there.
You're gonna read into it. How else will you find and mock Ben's mistake? You're gonna read into everything.
If you don't read into it, Iggy's dad doesn't become a gunslinger.
Yeah, and Arlington has 2 arms, and one is called Lucy, and one of them is called Lanky. That's what you said earlier.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you had Lucy Lanky arms. Yeah.
Lucy and Lanky, his 2 arms. Yeah. I have been thinking about that.
I feel like Randir is the only character who won't possibly get a heart attack at random from the DM.
I feel like if one of Arlington's arms is named Lucy, then it'll be the left one, because Lefty Lucy.
Yeah,
right.
There is no better way to end the episode than Lefty Lucy, rocks fall, everyone dies. But I think that is a good point. I was trying to think of a cliffhanger. No, Lefty Lucy, perfect.
Lefty Lucy.
We will be back in 2 weeks' time. Same YouTube channel, same YouTube time. Until then, there are other places you can find us. One is across our social channels at Homebrew Quest, and we are pretty chatty. So and I've been kind of, I won't say they're dank memes, but I've been upping my meme game. And when I say memes, I just mean stupid tweets. So you can find us there. Of course, you can find us on our Discord, which you will find on the social channels. It's one thing leads to another. It's a little viewer funnel we're getting you down to get you more invested in us. Yeah, we're really drumming up that parasocial relationship that we're trying to, develop with you.
Obviously, it seems to be working out.
Yeah, I want to paragliders, parasocial relationships. Anyone who para before it, it's a cool thing. But
it's all here on our paragraph.
There you go. What I'm awkwardly trying to stumble towards is that you can actually find Paul on Thursday on YouTube doing Hero Set. Paul, what are you doing this week on Hero Set?
So this week we're actually going to so we're talking about Netflix and maybe some of the series and movies watched. So some of the hidden gems or things that you might on Netflix, like being kind of scared, like going through everything on Netflix. If anyone likes League of Legends, Arcane has nice as well. First 3 episodes, the next 3 episodes.
Nice.
The first episode last night, and it might be some of the prettiest animation I've ever seen. It's so pretty. It's lovely. Big recommend for Arcane.
It's a gorgeous combination of cell action or cell shading
Oh, lovely. I've never played what the kids call LOL.
Yeah.
But should I watch this? Just kind
Uh,
of go
it-
in.
I
it's-
played like a match, and I'm
It's
enjoying it.
it's connected to the lore, so people who've played the game and know the lore have a little bit more insight. But it's just one story, and it's
Lovely.
straight from the start.
I think I'll give it a peek. That's what I'll be doing in the 2 weeks until we come back. But until then, be sound. Look after yourselves. Good night, and joy be with you all. I'm clapping the next.
Looks like Lucy's left.